We are live. This is the Cracker Box Podcast. Critical Cracker here with Rational Outlaw. Today we will be discussing Antifa. Are they a terrorist organization or are they just misunderstood? What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I definitely think they're a terrorist organization. I've looked at the definition of terrorists under the FBI, and even according to the FBI's definition of terrorists, they fall under that.
It's funny because they claim to be anti-fascists, yet they're acting like fascists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't get it. But. So today we're going to be talking about them, see if we all can come in agreement, but I really think we all already are. Invite a bunch of people. Hopefully they'll be coming in, and but we're just waiting now for a couple more. So is there a reason they dress all in black? Is there like a hot topic they all go to get like the masks and stuff?
I've heard something about someone commenting on that before who was part of Antifa and said it was, I can't remember what he said, there was a specific reason why he believed they wore masks. I think it was really just they wanted anonymity for themselves or something.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to work out. They're going to get their ass beat. I mean, I heard some groups are starting to arm themselves on both sides. So at some point, some idiot's going to point a gun at someone and there's going to be bloodshed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I went ahead and tweeted. Excuse me. Sorry. I went ahead and tweeted the link. So if you want to tweet it out, Rational Outlaw, go ahead and do that. And I'm trying to get Prince of Queens to come in. He may or may not be busy, depending on what's he doing. He did. I think he mentioned he was doing something. He may be able to join up. I'm not sure. Let me check my messages real quick. Yeah, you may have an opening, so hopefully you'll come in and we can talk about it. I invited Ensign Wolf, who's a cool dude. Geek Cthulhu, he might pop in for a little bit. Saya might come in. Let's see here. That's about it. So, you want to join Mr. Valentine? No? Okay.
All right, I'm back. So what all do you want to discuss about Antifa specifically?
Yes, specifically how they love to beat up people that don't agree with them. It's sorry, something going on. I don't like Antifa. I think they are a terrorist organization. I really do think that police need to crack down on them because whenever they show up, violence is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Valentine, I'll send you a DM. Give me. Crap.
What happened?
I done goofed. Oh, one second. Mr. Valentine. message him. Send you. It is sent. It's just we should probably let's go over some articles that I found. Just give me one sec to bring them up. There's a petition in the White House. This is from Fox News. Hey, Stan.
Hey, dude.
So it's not exactly, I wouldn't say it's reliable because any mainstream media is full of bias. But this is from Fox News. The story came out. Petition urging terror label for Antifa gets enough signatures for White House response.
Yeah, I think I signed one of those petitions that was to label Antifa as a terrorist organization.
Yeah, so it pretty much goes over what the White House says, and even Trump, when that shit went down in Charlottesville, Trump blamed both sides, which he's rightly so. I mean, both sides came for a fight. I mean, it states terrorism is defined as the use of violence, intimidation, in pursuit of political aims. This definition is the same definition used to declare ISIS and other groups as terrorist organizations. Antifa has earned this title due to its violent actions in multiple cities and their influence in killings of multiple police officers through the United States. It is time for the Pentagon to be considered to be consistent in its action, as they rightfully declared. All right, who's making that? Sorry. All right, thank you. Where was I? As they just rightfully declare ISIS as a terrorist group, they must declare Antifa as a terrorist group on the grounds of principle, integrity, morality, and safety. I agree with this statement. I believe Antifa, when you come to a protest and you're carrying shields and like wooden sticks and stuff, you're not there to peacefully protest. You're there to make violence. You're there to hurt people. I mean, I've seen countless videos of people just getting their ass beat for just being at the rally and not necessarily supporting either side,
Antifa are just a bunch of misplaced fucking teenage punk wannabes. Like, like the fucking, like, anarchy punk phase that some people go through. I just feel like Antifa is just that, but, like, fucking amplified and shit. They're a bunch of fucking pussies, honestly.
Stop sharing my screen. I don't want people to see my tranny porn.
There's a long tradition of bored, angry rich kids running around smashing things up, whichever banner they put above themselves.
You know what's weird? Why are rich kids so obsessed with communism? It's that let's be activists and I'm a communist too. That shit doesn't work, man. That shit does not work.
It's because they're lazy.
It's because they have an unhealthy relationship with money, because they've never really had to earn anything ever, so they don't see the value in earning.
Yeah, they don't know what work is because most of it was like if it's children that are really rich, the kids with trust funds, they didn't earn any of the money. Their parents did, and so, like he just said, they don't know the value of work. They don't know the value of money, and because of that, they're lazy. They've always had everything handed to them.
Privilege.
Communism does the same.
They accept they accept it as the natural order of things to have things handed to them because they've had it their whole lives, and they think that they can just cause a big fuss, a big stink, and then can get their way. I think most of this Antifa stuff is them having a tantrum, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're a bunch of fucking man babies.
It's dangerous too. It's a dangerous tantrum, and it needs to be stopped. They need to be put in their place. Most of them, when push comes to shove, they're pretty cowardly. But you know, some of them are smashing up ATMs and assaulting random people on the streets, stabbing people for their haircuts. Yeah, it's not cute, and it doesn't matter how good their intentions are. I don't really think they have good intentions. People who say, "Well, at least they're not." On the worst Nazi side, I don't think they really care about ideology. If they would be totally honest, I think yet again this is another group of people who are bored and want to scrap, and they can get away with it. And they know they can get away with it.
I think it's funny that these are the kind of people that would protest protest capitalism. Excuse me, with a Starbucks coffee in one hand and an iPhone in the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just y'all are stupid. Stupid.
They think those things won't go away just because we're communists. They think that somehow the major corporations that provide them with all of their luxuries will somehow keep giving them all of their luxuries, but now for free.
That's another thing about the rich kid mindset, is that they've never experienced true failure. There's always something to fall back on. They assume that everything turns out all right in the end, and so they go for the ideology where things never turn out right in the end, which is communism, and they eat it up because they don't know what hardship is, and they don't know the scummy nature of what human nature is, and they don't know they don't know that way madness lies.
And it's disgusting that news networks like CNN are like defending these clowns.
Yeah, that's to be expected. If you have actual Nazis and people saying we're here fighting Nazis, the layman who doesn't know the full context and hasn't been following what Antifa are doing are going to obviously side with the anti-Nazi side.
Yeah, but
Filthy commie bastards.
yeah, but you would think they would not defend Antifa since they are just as violent as the alt-right. Like, why defend them when they're destroying stuff and attacking people too?
Because they're pushing for more government via communism, and more government equals more control by, you know, just whoever is eventually in the back pulling the string. People say it's Soros and people say it's the Rothschilds. I don't really care who it is or know who it is, but there are people that obviously want the government to have more control, even if it's just the people in government. And communism is the most totalitarian government form in modern society.
I'm a kind of limited government kind of guy. I don't need the government in everything I do. You know, it's just, fuck that.
Yeah, you don't worship roads.
I think it's less sinister and more stupid. I think the media outlets like a narrative, and they like a good guy and a bad guy, and everyone knows Nazis are the easiest bad guys. If you're making a film and you want a bad guy and you don't want to write a decent bad guy, you make him a Nazi because everyone hates Nazis because they're Nazis. So what 24-hour news is, and what all the big mainstream news sites are, is making a movie about everyday life, and it has heroes and it has villains because that's what people watch. I don't think it's part of some global conspiracy. I think it's them choosing the easy narrative and the path of least resistance, where they're going to have their audience think the least amount and have them, you know, have the easiest ride when they're sipping their tea in the morning, and just it's not. It's light entertainment is what CNN is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I think that that definitely has a lot of truth to it, but it doesn't just stop with people like CNN or Washington Post, or even the more ridiculous ones like Vox and Salon that are just 100% backing them. Antifa can do no wrong. It's how these people got to join Antifa. It's the school, it's the classrooms that teach communism's good in colleges. It's much bigger than just the news network trying to have good guys and bad guys. It's just too many things working in Antifa's favor. And it shouldn't be that way. These people should be just laughed at. If this was 20 years ago, they wouldn't be possible to exist because we were fighting the Cold War. And guess what? Communists were the bad guy. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think people have forgotten how scary communism is, because I think that's probably because Nazis are such a better villain generally, that they're the ones, you know, perpetuated more in the media, and people are constantly aware of how bad Nazis are. They're in everything, as they should be. But we never see it. No, there's no ongoing criticism of communism in the media. I think that's dodgy, and I don't know where that's coming from. And I think that the nature of how the education system is built, we're getting these same rich kids who in another life would have been Antifa, getting in programs to become school teachers and instilling these values in the youth, and creating a society of people who are malleable in the direction of communism. And it's a dodgy road to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has a lot to do with the culture of the campuses that preach communism good and capitalism bad. I mean, unkept capitalism is bad. We need the balance of, you know, to protect people from companies that want a monopoly on certain things. But when there's a balance, capitalism works. I almost said communism. I'm sorry. I love capitalism. I mean, anyone that works hard enough can succeed and build a business.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to put in the work, and these kids don't want to put in the work because they work at Starbucks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm half asleep.
As am I, Cracker, as am I. When life is so easy for them, how can you expect them to have a nuanced view of how society works? They live in such a sheltered existence, and they've been told their whole lives that they're the smartest people ever, and that they're brilliant, and that they're perfect. And then when they get into the real world and they don't see it's to their liking, they think it's a huge conspiracy against them, when really it's a shit way of doing things, but it's really the best we have. They fill themselves with these utopian ideas because they don't understand the implications.
I mean, we could go back to monarchies again. I wouldn't mind being a king.
I'd be happy.
You don't get to choose.
Small little lord over here in charge of these, you know, couple square miles. That's it. That's all I need.
If you become
I'll be a
king,
duke.
you gotta give me a lordship or something.
Yeah, make me the duke. I'll be a local duke.
The Duke of Bus Stations, the Lord of Police. Oh wait, that's how towns work now. Okay. No. I think that one thing actually, like speaking of monarchs and kingdoms and stuff, is the world is fully discovered. There's nothing left to conquer. The world is small now, and when it's that way, there's no way to expand, and there's not really new ideas to be had. Like, try to think of something. Someone's invented, succeeded or failed. Everything that's new is just after, decades of research in a huge, major funded, engineering facility somewhere. Like, the world is done. And because there's nothing left to expand, capitalism is slowly dying because of it. There's no longer the ability to just be like, I'm going to start a business and it's going to be revolutionary, going to be fantastic, and everyone's going to buy it because it's new. There is nothing new. You can't even write a book anymore without being a copy of 6 other books. Like, there's nothing new, and that's killing people's spirit.
I mean, I kind of disagree with that. There are new ideas. We just, we haven't got there yet. I mean, shit. Once we leave Earth and start mining ore from the asteroid belt or whatever, it's gonna kick up a notch. Once we're able to go in space and have technologies for us to get to Mars and stuff, and have commerce between the two, it's gonna blow up, dude. The whole industry is gonna blow up.
Oh yeah, no, that would be a huge boom.
Here's what I'm thinking. We once the robots are good enough to take care of us and do everything we need, that's then and only then will I support communism. Robo-communism, where we will live under our robot overlords, being fed and dressed by them all day.
I'll go live with the Amish if that happens. Screw it. But I mean, yeah, like once the whole space age and the whole AI thing happens, and like that becomes so big and so easily available to everybody, yeah, that'll be a huge another leap in the advancement of humankind. But for now, we've kind of been stagnant for a while. Like, we've been stagnant since like 1900, maybe like 1950 to be safe. And
I mean,
70
here
human expansionism
revolutionized the our lives. I mean,
Yeah, we got computers, dude.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of progress in the robotics and computers, and eventually we're going to be so inseparable that it's going to be like Ghost in the Shell kind of thing. I don't know if you guys understand that reference, where
it's like
technology will literally be a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with Antifa?
I don't know. We went off.
It's the ideas of the stagnation in technology, the stagnation in imperialism. It's just all the stagnations in civilization that are leading people to lean towards communism.
I love imperialism.
I don't know if it's that so much this ideal view that everyone being equal is somehow the greatest thing in the world, like a utopia that they're trying to achieve, which is really just impossible because humanity is fucking awful.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't have all these people being retarded thinking that, communism's the best if we didn't have literally millions of bachelor degrees baristas. Just thinking, my life sucks. How could this be better? They would just, be going out killing people in war. That's not a really greater alternative, but it kept people from thinking, how do I over?
I mean, you can't really do much with a, gender studies degree.
And yeah, and that's the education system sucks. We get so much and get a good to get a degree to where now people are going for things that don't need degrees and they're in debt with a useless one.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Did you want to talk, Mr. Valentine?
Oh, I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, I kind of said what I wanted to already. I guess I'll just add on to the communism thing. Like, I hate how nobody seems to realize how many deaths were caused under communism. It's like nobody acknowledges that communism fucking kills people. I don't know.
Or
the more extreme communist people will say, well, capitalism kills hundreds of millions every year. And they'll point to deaths in Venezuela and malaria deaths in Africa as the culprit of capitalism. ridiculous. They're just brainwashed.
Yeah, it's weird. Everyone's playing life on easy mode and trying to find more conflict where it doesn't actually exist. And if going in the street and hitting each other with bats to make the only thing it achieves is making everyone hate you, people are just doing that now because that is what society is in 2017.
Right.
A bunch of bored idiots just hitting each other.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
a
much.
Perfect summary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of bored fucking retards hitting each other with shit. Yeah.
It's
So
like a
nothing
small
ever
town.
changes.
No, that's always how the humanity is. It's just
It's
we
all-
used to have more room to have, groups of people go find other groups of people to go fight. Now it's just I'm bored. You know what? I don't know what divides us, so I'm gonna make up something. Now we're separate. Now I can fight you.
And then in the end, when the dust is settled, this new age that the winners have decided to build eventually settles down to being pretty much this again, just pretty ordinary and fine. Peace is boring. No one likes peace. Let's have peace a little bit more. I'm okay with it. No one seems to be okay with it but me.
It's weird.
Nah, peace is cool. I like peace. But of
Most
course,
people-
anytime I say that, I get called a fucking hippie or whatever.
Yeah, not fighting people is preferable, unless it's for sport and we can both just laugh afterwards. And be
Or
like, haha, good game.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the aliens to nuke us from orbit.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
We know that if aliens
Ready
find
for
us,
that.
that's exactly what they'll do. They'll be like, oh, the species is lost.
We
Kill
fucked
them.
up. Hit the reset button.
Purge them. I'm actually kind of scared that, between how the news is portraying things and, Antifa and the Nazis and just all these different groups of hateful people, that, people might actually petition for a real-life purge.
Oh
Yeah,
my
what-
lord.
Bad. And they'll all vote for
It's it's like the Godzilla movies at this point. Let's just get the most reprehensible shitbags we can find and have them fight in front of everyone. It's Godzilla versus Mecha King Ghidorah at this point. Like, no one likes anyone involved. It's just funny, and it's not funny. It's just enough to maintain the news and to keep everyone interested that these people are running into the street and hitting each other.
Oh, so we're not crumbling Rome. We're pre-Colosseum Rome. I get it. I see.
Huh.
We just need a really big Colosseum. We need the Thunderdome. We need something for just idiots to go and fight to the death. The Hunger Games.
We need the Hunger, yeah. The Hunger Games, dude. That's what we need. It's perfect.
And instead of it being just one person comes out alive, we just get, you sign up onto teams. There's always 5 teams that go in. The teams can be up to 100 people. It's just a massive area. Just go. Only one team makes it out.
We don't even have to tell anyone who did it. We just tell someone, oh, this guy said that women are stupid, and then we tell the other guy, oh, this guy said that he wants to exterminate the white race, and then they just run at each other and that's how we organize it. We just say inflammatory bullshit that no one would ever say to other people.
You want to hear what's funny?
Go ahead.
Yes.
All right. For the longest time, I thought Jewish people were white, and apparently, according to white nationalists, they're not.
They don't think like Irish people are white though. They're weird.
Irish people are super white.
Wait, what?
They're
Yeah.
so white.
What
They
constitutes
burn
as
in
white
the
for
sun
them?
like vampires.
Well, the difference is I follow several white nationalists, national socialists, just because I follow a little bit of every retarded group, because sometimes they're funny, and I also just I want to see how people think so I can understand why they're behind whatever stupid movement they're behind. Just try to understand them. And what I've gathered from the National Socialist people is they think that the world is divided into 3 major races. There is essentially the white people from Neanderthals. There is the Asian people from whatever the heck. And then there is black people that didn't have that like middle thing, and that's why they're inferior and all that bullcrap. But they think that there's the three main groups, and a subgroup of white people is people that are, when you think of like Syrians or Persians, that's what Jewish people are. They're like a subgroup of white people, and therefore they can pass as a white person, but they're really not. And they have a separate, oh, we're not actually white people, so we're against white people. And it's just this whole ridiculous, completely ridiculous, like just nonsense.
It's like Elder Scrolls. It's like all the races just implicitly hate each other and
the elves
want to fight each other all the time. Yeah, it's elves and dwarves from Lord of the Rings. They just hate each other due to some ancient bullshit. They just automatically want to kill each other all the time.
Yeah.
Which
I'm a widow.
It's weird.
I'm a dark elf. Well, yeah, screw it. We have to hate each other, even though we're both elves.
I'd totally be a Nord because I love the cold and I love hitting things with hammers.
You know, that was actually, I think, a pretty good analogy considering with the Black Lives Matter and the white nationalists and everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of another organization that needs to go away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
BLM needs to go like yesterday, like last year.
I mean, originally when they came out, I forget the name of that kid that was shot by that Mexican dude, and everyone blamed Whitey for that.
Yeah, Trayvon Martin shot by Zimmerman.
He was just walking in the neighborhood, heading to home. You know, this dude just shot him straight up.
Yeah, that was stupid. But he was half Mexican or half Cuban, or I forget which Latino Hispanic origin he was specific.
Blame the white people.
Yeah, white people suck. It's like, whoa, this
Blame
is
the white
Florida
people.
man does stupid nonsense. This has nothing to do with white people.
We're not half at fault for this time.
I always, I don't know why, but I always end up talking about football hooliganism because it's what I know from my youth, and that's what it is. It's who has the different color shirt. Let's hate them. Everything they do is stupid and evil, and every time someone with that color shirt does that evil thing, then we have to beat the shit out of them and jump around throwing chairs at each other. It's silliness, and it's identity politics on both sides. It's the Nazis saying because they're black, they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about and they're trying to steal our women folk, and it's the Antifa BLM people saying Whitey wants to kill us and does it all the time for sport because this is the time machine and they're those, what are they, the Morlocks who live underground.
The identity politics really do need to just vanish. Like,
oh fuck, identity politics. Oh my fucking god.
Hey, general question. I'm sorry to interrupt. Whenever people talk, whenever people talk, their avatar's not coming up. General question. I'm sorry to interrupt. Hold on. People talk.
I think I hear
Their avatar's not coming up for some reason. I don't know how to fix that.
Nor do I.
So, yeah.
Are you oh wait, no, never mind. It would say if you're presenting everyone.
It's, I don't know.
Was it ever working?
I don't think
Looks like
it
was working earlier. No, if I scroll through the stream, I can see some Rational Outlaw up there. And some me. I was up there at some point.
Yeah.
I think I pressed the button and fucked it up.
What'd you do? What the
I don't
fuck?
I don't know. Don't put me in front of technology. I break it. I'm so old.
Probably.
You still wear a monocle and a top hat. You're ancient.
I
You're
remember
a Victorian gentleman.
I remember yelling at my mom to get off the phone so I could surf the internet and play Doom.
I don't.
Yeah, so
I very
Alright.
rarely yell at your mum. We get on very well.
Yeah. My mom was a phone hog, but she's a good cook, so
It's okay. She's allowed to stay.
she can stay for now.
My mom's a terrible cook.
Oh,
Oh
Sorry.
shit! I love
am a
how
terrible
these
cook.
streams just devolve into us bashing people.
right. Back on topic. Skyrim politics. Let's go. Okay, so Skyrim for the Nords.
What?
The
I
Imperials,
saw
dude.
What?
Because a divided Tamriel is way bad for the elves. Man, they would easily overwhelm the Nords.
But you forget about Hammerfell in open
I
resistance.
don't know what you're talking about.
Argonian power. Argonian power.
Fuck those lizard up the ass coming to my fucking Skyrim to steal my jobs. And
Yeah,
don't
they're
get me
taking all
started
the
with
voters.
those stealing knifey cat people.
Hey,
They
don't
need a chance.
hate the Khajiit.
Argonians need a chance. They give them a go. It's their turn to rule society.
No,
They
know what they're
took
doing.
the ancient homeland of the Khajiit. Give it back to the Khajiit. They deserve it. Kick them out. Kick out the Argonians. Put them in the ocean. Send them
Argonian
to
power, dude. Do we need?
continent.
Funny thing, I was playing Skyrim all night last night.
I bought Ultimate Edition after not playing it for a million years, and it didn't look much different to me. I'm sorry. Ultimate Edition, I was not impressed. There's a lot more bushes.
I haven't played Skyrim in a while.
Yeah,
I got to the Dawn Guard mission. I've been doing that. The crossbows easily kill dragons. Who is that in the background? All right, I fixed it. Sorry, I had to mute you.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
okay then. Yeah, I've been playing this beautiful orc character, known only as Grunt. I picture him as like an angry Cockney gentleman, and he just cracks wise to everyone. He's my spirit animal.
My character is a Nord, and he wears heavy armor, and his name is Sigmar. And if you get that reference, you get 100 cracker points. And he carries a two-handed warhammer named Galmarez.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he does not like elves.
Who would, man? They're a scourge. They're a scourge. Legit, even in the first town, you have elves trying to steal our pure Nordic women.
Right. But we need to get back
Poor
on
old
topic.
Sven.
We're way off topic.
Yeah, we kind of went from Antifa to video games.
Antifa. I would love to get a person who supports Antifa on the show. Just get their opinion on things.
I don't think anyone who supports Antifa is coming on the show. I don't
Yeah.
think they want to. I think you'd be hard pressed to get them to care about us.
They'd be like, "You're a cisgender, non-binary, lesbian, non-conformist."
That doesn't even make
Heterosexual.
sense.
I'm not
It doesn't
done.
make sense.
I know.
I'm not done.
I wasn't done with the joke yet.
What
Other
joke?
kin, Dovakin, master of ceremony, cisgender scum.
Says this gender twice.
That's
Don't you
what
want-
they are.
You know, I'm wondering, does Antifa also believe in the otherkin stuff, or are they just currently just on the whole transgender thing?
Well, eventually
Probably
they'll
the
get to that heart's progress bullshit.
What?
Oh,
They
Antifa's-
believe in smashing up ATMs.
Antifa's beyond
Well, I mean,
entertainment.
all the Antifa people I met are all into the fucking millions of gender shit, respect pronouns, my pronouns and shit. So, I don't know.
Half of
Now,
Antifa.
Mr. Valentine, are you a man? Because you have a very feminine voice.
I didn't want to have to say it, but I'm transsexual. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not on testosterone yet. That's why.
Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
Wow.
You think I'm gonna get upset?
I kind of feel like an asshole now.
No, don't worry about it.
I also
Shit.
sound like a girl. That is for no reason.
You sound like a 12-year-old boy, Stan.
He does.
Yeah, I do. I look like an 8-year-old girl too.
Oh, shit.
If you saw me in real life, I'm like minuscule and I have long hair. I look like an 8-year-old girl.
If you saw me in real life, I am 6'3", and I
63
scare people
inches?
just walk in the room, and I don't know why. I'm a gentle giant.
Yeah, are you lanky 6'3" or are you bulky 6'3"?
I have a little bit of cushion, but I'm not like damn. I'm a little overweight, not like damn overweight.
He's actually 63 centimeters. He's not.
But yeah, I mean, shit. I look like a blonde hair, blue-eyed version of Mundane Matt.
You're an Aryan. You are a Nord, Skyrim from the Nords.
Yep. I need to preserve the Nord race.
It's worth it.
I'm just about the most Jewish looking person in the world. I have
Do you have one of
all
those
the
Jew
Jew genes.
nose?
I've got the nose. Don't worry about that.
Do you rub your hands greedily when you see $1 on the ground?
Yeah.
What is it, a pound?
Yeah.
A shekel.
A shekel?
He like, yes, I'm going to report to the masters today.
Do I see a Zuzim on the ground?
I'm
That's what I
sorry,
think.
everybody. We're way off topic. We all agree at this point that Antifa is a terrible organization that is filled with shitty people who have no idea what communism is.
McCommon.
And, oh, sorry, dude. I muted you again. My bad. That was.
Well, how do we feel about?
Do you have
I
a
guess,
problem? Okay.
how do we feel about Trump's speech on about blaming both sides?
I love that.
I agree.
Fair.
I think it's true and right what he said, but I think it's a wrong choice. I think he made a goof there, a bad strategic move. But that's the whole deal with Trump. He's not a very strategic politician because he's not really a politician at all. He just says what he means. I think that's the best and worst thing about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't seen my main memester zombie shit posts in a while, and I feel hurt. You know, he's not making those dank ass memes from the stream.
He's been put into the social media gulag.
Yeah. Right. Oh, really? Was he banned?
Oh, I have no idea. I just
So-
know that he might have gotten temporarily banned or those like limited activity crap.
Oh, that's fucking dumb, man.
Can I just say, communism in space is the funniest guy.
He really.
I only support Antifa in the third world. Fucking hell, he's a genius.
Did we want to go on to another topic? Because I have a few articles here that I got like a while ago.
Go ahead, Rational. Do your thing.
Let me see if I can share it in our group chat. I have 3 different ones. Which one would you like to do first? I have one on Down syndrome disappearing in Iceland. The so what if LGBTQI whatever the whole mouthful thing, and the gay toilet sign has LGBT rights groups branding it homophobic.
The LGBT ones would probably give me a lot to say. If you're interested in fucking hearing me, then just go with one of those ones. But I don't know.
Yeah, the Iceland one is, or
Or that
Greenland, whichever place.
LGBTQRS
LGBT. I don't give a fuck.
PP 90 quick scope 360
666.
Big
Okay.
X, little X, big X, little X.
big titties, small titties.
Do you
Oh, I
guys-
saw that one. Oh, fuck me. I hate that shit. LGBTQQIAP. What the fuck? See,
Is
just the
What did you say,
headline of
Jack?
this is why I left the fucking community. Like, what in the fuck?
Go ahead
Does
I'll
anyone
go
even
ahead.
know what the 2 stands for?
Is
Genders.
this an Onion article?
It's
All right,
it's real.
everyone. I'm gonna share our
Like-
misery to the crowd here.
Oh no.
I just had an aneurysm. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Dude. So what if LGBTQIAP2 is a mouthful? Just learn it already.
What is this? A
By
fucking
Josh
concept car?
Jackman.
They might as well just shorten it by saying non-straight cis, like just literally anything but straight is what it is now. It's like, are you anything but straight and, you know, think that you're whatever gender, then you're part of this group, instead of the, oh, let's just make up things because we need to incorporate literally that group of 6 people in the entire country.
That's how I feel about the T in LGBT, because there aren't many trannies in the fucking world. Like, they're barely a community.
Believe me,
And they're split. There's 2 different kinds. There's the transsexuals, which are going through the transition,
Yes.
which have always been around, and then there's transgenders, which are just, you know, a guy with a beard and a tux that says,
Those are-
I'm a girl today.
Trenders, but I mean, you know,
all right. Let me
same
read.
fucking thing. Whatever.
Let me read this cancer, okay? Tell me. All right. Should I do it in a voice or just my regular voice?
In a voice.
Okay.
Your most Antifa voice possible.
Okay, everybody. Tell me rings a bell. There are so many letters in LGBT. Whatever now. It's ridiculous. Like LGBT, A, B, C, D, E, F, right? I'm very witty. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. Ugh, yes. Person who is trying to invalidate my identity. So many letters. Almost half the alphabet. And who remembers all the letters? I just get stuck after J.
I just.
Why is one of them a number?
Invalidate my identity.
Sure. It's understandable that not everyone would know what every letter stands for.
And there's an ad for HIV.
It's
Get HIV now.
HIV does
Only
not
COVID-19.
represent my community, even though we're most likely to contract the deadly virus. But back to the article. We're all aware that
entitleism? Entitleism? Is that one of it?
Okay. I've just seen. I'll get back to you on this because I've just. No, go on. Sorry, I need to research further into this hilarious thing that I've just discovered. Continue reading the article.
LGBT, standing for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. If we added a Q for queer, that wouldn't throw too many people.
I just really heard my voice.
Yeah, you like morphed into like some kind of like monstrous slug woman.
After that, it gets a bit trickier. Many wouldn't be able to name I for interested.
Okay, wait. Hold the fuck on. Hold
In A for osmosis. I'm sorry.
Hold the fuck up. Okay. So I don't understand the LGBT community because, well, LGBT what the fuck ever, because fucking lesbian, gay, and bi, pan, and asexual, if you want to count those, are sexualities. Intersex and transgender are fucking medical conditions. So I don't understand why they're fucking in there in the first place. What the fuck? Like, those are fucking medical conditions. The intersex people barely even exist.
What happened to just being, you know? That's why I left the community a while ago, because they started adding letters and shit.
As soon as the fucking I came in, I was fucking out. I was out.
It's a piss take because it was a funny. Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
No, you.
I was gonna say, I remember before there even was the community. Like when I was in middle school and high school, there just wasn't. There was the one gay kid out of the class of like 500, and then like after you graduate, you found out there was actually the 3 gay kids, and that was the community. There was no community. There was no word for them. Like it was just like, oh hey, okay, cool, and like everyone went out their lives. But now it's like become like the center of who they are.
It's obnoxious. I was a part of the LGBT community back in the early thousands. Early 2000s, and it was great. I mean, there was a lot of support and stuff, and then when that third wave or the intersectional feminism hit around 2008, it just disintegrated, man. They're just straight up hostile to people that don't believe what they believe. I mean, instead of a group of people like, oh, we happen to be gay, let's, oh, that's all you are. You know what I mean? All right, let me go back to the
I still go to Pride for the free condoms.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I go to Pride for.
Yeah.
Free condoms and free lube. I have so fucking much.
Yeah, same.
I noticed there's a lot of
Me.
All right, where was I?
Is Two Spirit supposed to be the whole theme?
What the fuck is Two-Spirit?
I looked it up. Okay, so Two-Spirit. Two-Spirit is a gender identity. If someone is two-spirited, their body simultaneously houses both a masculine spirit and a feminine spirit. This idea originated.
So they're a human fucking being. What the fuck?
I mean, Jesus. I mean, I'm all for women dressing up as men. That's cool, but you don't need to make sexuality of it. If you're legitimately have gender dysphoria and you're transitioning and you're putting forth the effort, taking the hormones, going to therapy, then by all means, I support you 100% because I want you to be happy.
I would like to also read the second definition on Urban Dictionary.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Two-spirit, a grown man who lives with their mother and rapes his grandma.
Oh.
Usually two-spirit individuals live in the basement. This is due to the fact that nobody loves them and they can't get an ordinary girl. One way that you can identify a two-spirited individual is if they have a chode. This is, in brackets, a penis that is wider than it is long. Another way is seeing how is if you ask them where they live, they reply, I don't know. And here's the context. Person 1, bro, you're a faggot who still lives with your grandma. I was in her closet and I saw you squirting on her. It was fucked up as hell. Person 2, it's okay. I'm a two-spirit. It means I can do it. It's how I choose to express myself.
Oh my
I'm a
god.
special
Oh my fucking
That's
god.
like those people that are calling
I can only
Remember
read
that
a legit
dude?
definition for it.
Remember that dude that left his family of 7 to transition into a little girl.
Oh, yeah, that's
living
right.
with that
7-year-old or
family,
whatever.
Yeah.
having sex
I mean-
with biker men.
I mean, it would be one thing if that were a sexual fetish, because like I have nothing against that, but I mean, if that person legitimately feels like it's some kind of fucking like identity thing, that's what I have a problem with.
Well,
But
there's a difference. People are so bored. This goes back to the boredom thing that we were talking about earlier. People are so bored. They're not just fighting each other in the streets. They're like, I have no personality, so my identity is my attraction. That's
yeah,
just literally who I am. That's all I can be because I'm so bored I can't even think.
and even
Well,
it's that, and then just they want to feel fucking special.
we as
they want
humans,
oppression points too.
All right,
We
I
as-
need to finish this cancer bit, otherwise I'm gonna die.
okay.
I let me grab another beer. I'll be right back.
Ironically, he's not dying from cancer.
To be honest, I hate the word queer. Anyone who uses that, I just think it's just a stupid word.
Well, it doesn't really mean anything different than what's already been labeled out. Like, they have queer and questioning. What on earth could queer mean? They already have lesbian, gay, and bi. That's
I think-
everything that would be
yeah, I
considered
feel like-
queer.
You're not really questioning if you have a dick in your mouth.
Is
And
this
also-
good? Is this bad? I don't know.
I never quite understood why
This
asexual.
didn't taste like it was advertised. I want my money back.
I also never understood why asexual was included because they're
Just a
not.
lack of sexuality.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's like no one's discriminating them. It's just they don't want to have sex. That's really pretty much it.
Yeah, no one's going to be like, well, I now exclude you from this bar.
And asexual is kind of like another condition, like intersex and transgender, because most asexuals have like medically a low libido and everything, and people
Yeah.
still treat that like, oh, it's my identity. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like you go to their Twitter and or like their Instagram, and where they have their bio, it's just all the different identities that they are,
Oh my
and
fucking
nothing
God,
about like
Guys,
who they actually are.
Um,
Like, well, do you like
I'm
sports?
gonna read. I'm gonna read a couple more paragraphs, and then I'm gonna be done with it because this is just cancer,
Yeah, that's
Like,
why I thought it'd be perfect.
terminal 4 kind of cancer, like racking through your entire body kind of cancer. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute you. All right, sorry, dude. All right.
If we added Q for queer, that wouldn't throw too many.
Wait, I already read that.
Just speed read it. Just get this cancer out.
All right.
There are also some variations. We include another Q for questioning, or a 2, which stands for two spirit.
Oh,
What?
so
The term used widely in Canada by non-berry, non-berry,
Non-berry. It's like a new fruit.
I'm sorry,
it's like if cherries are like, we're not actually berries.
indigenous North American.
Did you just
You know what?
assume my berry?
Hashtag everybody, did you assume my berries? Mulberry. Fucking do that shit. Tag everyone that's in the stream or me and hashtag my berries. All right. All right. Last bit, I swear. That's really fucking up my voice.
So, for the record, that's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual.
Why does it feel like I'm reading a list of names that are gonna go in the gas chamber?
Risky.
You're white, right? So it's your internalized racism, and you're
That
actually
little
really
bit
a
of German
Nazi.
that's in me, like
Put them in the gas.
The shape of your skull makes you genetically I can't speak English. Makes you want to put people in gas chambers.
Just
Oh, wait, I got it. This whole the LGBT, all this nonsense. It's just a way to make too many labels, and we can't discern the people in the camps from each other anymore.
It's just muddying the water.
Yeah,
No one
because
knows who anyone is.
there's like the 12 symbols. It's like, oh, if you're Jewish, you get a star.
all right, you know what? I'm done with this fucking article because my voice is
Well, it's not healthy to sound like a 400-pound sluggish Jewish woman.
Really?
I have another article.
I sound like Shaggy getting fucked by a giant black guy.
I have another article. If we want to look at it, it's about the sign, this toilet sign
Okay.
that got.
Am I gonna have to like read it in another voice? Please tell me no.
You have to. It's the staple of the show. That's the format.
I thought you
Go
were
on,
my
give us the article.
fan.
What do you want me to do about it? You can do the silly voices. I can't.
All right, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat, Outlaw.
Oh, the BBC.
Yeah,
This is actually a real thing.
The background
Oh.
noise. Sorry.
He's not real. I like to pretend it's just fake.
That's why I keep muting you, dude.
I was trying to find the BBC because I knew the BBC had a little bit more information.
Wait, is it like an echo, or is it just because my air conditioner's on? That's
Yeah,
probably
it's
what
like
it is.
something. It's like something in the background that's going
It's
on.
my air conditioner then. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, but have you opened this article? Because it's literally the opening picture is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I'm about to do that right now. Can someone monitor chat real quick?
Oh yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Communism in space.
BBC trending: woman, man, gay. 15-year-old toilet sign causes controversy.
Look at him go! Look at that little
Hey,
little
no,
gay
that's
toilet
already
sign.
Silly me.
Okay, I'm gonna I can't pronounce French words, dude. It's like it's the German in me. Refuse to do it. Look at how fabulous the gay icon is.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious when I saw
That's
it.
the best. That's the bathroom I want to use.
There, get used to it. Also, put in my bum bum. Remember to put the seat down, you pervert. Remember, sure, to wipe your mouth from the glory hole.
Ugh. All right, now I'm picturing the opposite kind of bathroom that I originally had in mind. I was thinking like everything's padded and nice and clean and sparkly. Now I'm picturing like the worst club in like Brooklyn in '84.
Don't worry, there's some hand sanitizer by the sink. How do you like my gay voice, by the way?
It's beautiful.
It's your real voice? You've been lying to us?
Yeah, it's my real voice. All right. Here we go. LGBT groups have accused the B&B, which has agreed to take down the sign of confusing sexual orientation and gender identity. What am I doing with my life? Lucia Rolo? Did I pronounce that right? Anyone?
I have no idea.
All right, I wish I had my Spanish friend here. You would know. How do I pronounce this?
Wait, what's the word? I can't see it.
I have it shared, dude. It's right here. How do you pronounce that?
Oh,
Lucia?
I think
Gang?
it's Gianluca. Or Lucha.
Yeah, look.
Lucha.
Lucia.
I don't know.
Fucking your.
Something.
That was a harder word than I thought it was going to be.
Who
I thought
shared? Sorry, I was not in my gay voice. Let me. Who shared a post from an LGBT organization? You know, dude, this is all in French bullshit. I don't want to do this.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. The owners, however, blamed the previous manager for making the sign, which he thought had installed 15 years ago. Republica. I fucking hate French people, dude. Owners insisted it was covered up. Why can't they just learn a good language like English?
What's
Sorry,
funny? I actually have a funny little side note to stick in here. Speaking of English and other languages, almost every single other language on the planet only has two genders to identify words. They don't use the. They use like, it's essentially what translates to like Mr. Rock or like Mrs. Desk when they talk
Not
about
German
objects.
though.
German does.
German.
They have der, die, and das. They have
Yeah,
a
but
neutral one.
Yeah, they have neuter. Yeah.
But it's assigned. So like it's not das Rock for like the skirt. It's still like, or der. It's der Rock.
The gender rules in German I find hilarious because it means you have to do these cute little rhymes all the time.
It's stupid.
Like if you see a little dog, you have to say it's eine kleine Hund. It's so cute. So cute, the little rhymes.
Yeah, their language is funny, and it can be very kid-like if said in the right voice. But people like to think that Hitler is the only prominent German to ever exist, and then if they branch out a little, it's Arnold. So I mean,
Yeah, modern German is the gayest thing ever. It's the gayest sounding thing ever. Do you know what the word for mobile phone is in German?
handy.
Yeah. Oh, wo ist meine Handy? It's the gayest thing.
I love the word for glove, Handschuh.
Oh no.
The only phrase or sentence I know is "Sprechen Sie Deutsch."
My favorite, the word for exit, Ausfahrt. It's a beautiful word.
Oh no, ambulance. Krankenwagen. That's the best one.
Oh no, I like a submarine. Unterseeerboot. It's so adorable how it's simplistic.
Yeah, German's a weird language, but like other languages like Spanish and French and just like everything, German being the exception, but even still applying a gender, one of two, to every object.
What's interesting though is for English is only like 1% of its words are originally from the English language, the original English language. Like everything else is from other languages.
Yeah, it's this weird blend of German, French, a little bit of like original Latin, and then a little bit of the whatever people were there. Not the Celts and the Picts necessarily, but whatever the Welsh are.
And even actually have also some Chinese words, which is odd.
We don't even know how to spell Chinese words like they sound. All right, so
it's like spelled phonetically into English, but like the pronunciation, I guess, is still how it's. I don't know.
We did something wrong, and I hate our ancestor linguists. Oh, they're just as bad as sexists. Linguists, they end with a IST. That means they're a hate group. Linguists are hate groups.
Does the word Latinx mean anything to you?
I hate that word.
It means absolutely nothing to me. If somebody identifies as
Okay.
Latinx, I will never speak to them in my life.
It's the funniest thing because they
I'm black now, you guys. I'm a black cracker.
I find Latinx to be just a hilarious term because it actually goes against the grammar rules of the particular language in order to create this weird construct that is impossible in the grammar of the language of the people who use it.
That was really stupid like that because if I recall, Spanish is only male and female words. They don't have any they don't have any of the neutral gendered words, or if I recall.
Language is transphobic, racist, sexist, xenophobic.
Ableist.
Back to the main topic though, are these Antifa fucks like allied with these people or
Half and half. Antifa is so far down that rabbit hole that they're starting to say things like being gay is transphobic.
that's fucking dumb.
Because they're saying things like being straight is not real. and to be just by being straight, you're automatically transphobic, which just simply means that being gay is too. Because if you only like one gender or one sex, you only have one sexual preference and not both, then
We need to get
you're
very
anti-trans.
Well,
Like
I'm
a-
transphobic then.
Just to see how backwards that group is, all you have to do is just watch how much they attack Blair White. She gets almost exclusively attacked from the left. So obviously it's not as inclusive as they think they are.
I fuck Blair White.
You don't count.
Should we take a poll on who would do Blair White? Because I think it's a very important political topic.
Help me
All
out.
right,
So
so the poll right now, guys. Be sure to vote.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
win. That's how it works.
Oh yeah, Josh Marsky points out that this is the same as all Riley Dennis's shit, if you remember that, where she said that people were sexist for not wanting to bang her.
Yeah, but she's like, I don't know what Riley is because I'm not keeping up with Riley. I don't know.
Riley's doing a lot better now. Riley is actually doing transgender surgery, I think.
Okay, so it's
she is necessary, yeah.
actually going through with it instead of just being.
but is she actually like coming out as trans, or is she still on this fucking non-binary bullshit?
I don't know. It takes people a while to figure out. I'm not one to get on top of them for it.
Well, non-binary people shouldn't transition. That's just that. I mean,
What are they?
if it turns out that she's actually trans, then good for her. But I don't know yet.
She is doing hormones and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if she's explicitly said at any point that she's like all the way trans or she's sticking with the stuff. But I think she wants to be called a she, and she's making efforts to be a she. So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say she.
Okay,
Sure.
that's fine. That's fair. If she's actually going through the effort, then I will as well. So she is so ridiculous and delusional, along with whoever that person is that does queer kid stuff, that they are like half of the driving fuel of Antifa. Like if they didn't exist, there wouldn't be this weird nonsense division of like this gender like battleground, and Antifa would have that many less people siding with them.
You reckon Antifa's watching queer kids stuff?
I think that queer kid stuff emboldens Antifa, and Antifa emboldens queer kid stuff. They're kind of one exists in a more powerful state because of the other, and not necessarily queer kid stuff exclusively, but all the YouTubers like queer kids.
All right, vote, you bastards. It's up.
Oh, have you got a Twitter poll?
Yeah.
Okay, just a sec. I'll be right there.
I get so happy when people vote on my stupid polls because it makes me feel good. Like, oh, people paying attention. It's sweet.
See, 100% yes. I'm 100% of the votes. Let's leave it at there. I am democracy.
Oh no, there's not a third vote. Where's my third party?
The two news are probably being outlawed.
Who voted no?
I'm gay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same here. So,
But
Surely
she
that
has a
doesn't
dick.
count.
I mean, I'm sorry. You're gay if you're sucking dick, unless you're a woman. Maybe? I don't know.
Or unless you're just trying, just to check. You have to check sometimes. You're not gay.
Shit came out of the room.
That's the questioning people.
That's what they do. They just check occasionally. Or is it people who just constantly ask you the whole time if they're doing a good job?
No,
They're
those
just like
people
really
just wonder
secure about it.
They're just wondering in circles, constantly like, "What am I? What year is it?"
They're just like, you know, when you have little kids and they constantly ask why all the time. And it's really irritating. That's what they do. They're just people who are constantly querying everything. That's why it's part of the LGBT community. Querying, of course.
There's no Antifa in the third world communist guy.
He's taking the piss. It's a running joke that he's been keeping up.
Antifa in the third world. I think they do. I think that their entire country dedicates all of its processing power to one computer to broadcast on one giant screen to the third world Antifa followers. Nothing but queer kid stuff 24/7.
All right, 2 people voted no. It's not okay.
Okay. If communists in space, if you're gonna lurk, you gotta vote. You gotta bolster Blair White's claim. You have to get in there.
He's gonna vote.
You too, Josh.
You're gonna have to take one for the team, man, and suck some tranny dick.
Hold your nose.
Oh shit! Oh my god, it burnt! Oh my god! Oh, you're back.
What have you done?
Hi,
What's
Mr.
happened?
Jackson Scales.
You can hear him in the background. What do you do?
What? Josh Mosky voted no.
By the
as
way,
well.
what happened to Critical Cracker? Because I got
To
sidetracked.
be completely
He
honest,
died.
I don't give 2 shits about Blair
I was
White.
drinking
So.
a beer, and you made me laugh, and it came out of my nose.
Good!
That's why I said hold your nose.
Oh my god, fuck me, that burned. I hate you right now. I'm not gonna drink the rest of my beer.
Drinking on the job, Cracker. Drinking on the job.
Actually, is his job?
He's the boss. He can do whatever he wants.
Prince of Queens should be coming on soon. I got a message from him. He's in the car. He's on his way home.
Man,
So-
I'm just about to head out, and I'm gonna miss talking to that guy's oddly irritating, but also it like must listen to voice. Ugh.
He's a verbal freight train. He won't stop going, and everything he says is just pure gold. And take notes. Take notes when you're talking to Prince of Queens, because he's a fucking mile a minute in what he's talking about.
His avatar, his old one, bothered me. Remember, I was just looking at it, and I was like, I hate this. It was just weird. I mean, I'm sure everybody hates my avatar too. I don't really care.
I'd still fuck it.
Oh.
Yeah, it actually looks nice.
My avatar's got some thick ass legs. Okay, you gotta love that.
No thanks.
Uh-oh.
Nothing but legs.
Speak of the devil.
Hey, tweet the live link, and I will or put it in the side channel. I'll tweet it.
Sweet.
Promotion.
Give me 1 second. All right, I put it in the chat here. There you go.
Got it.
1 second.
I'll tweet out also, but there will be zero effect of that. I'm sorry. No one cares what at Quizzical Quack is posting. But I'll do it anyway.
Yeah,
He doesn't know.
it just got quiet all of a sudden. I don't know why.
He doesn't
Because
know. What
everyone's tweeting.
Everyone's tweeting. Hold on, I'm tweeting.
Okay, I'm gonna clickbait your stream. I'm gonna my tweet is gonna be hot celeb babes video.
I'll be right
It's,
back.
What?
That's actually me.
You're right.
Now, dick grows 8 inches.
Oh, that's how you get all the Antifa people to join. All the Antifas will watch.
Yeah.
So, just to keep you up to date, Prince, we talked about Antifa being a terrorist organization and stuff, and how their belief in socialism and where they're on class kind of affected their belief or whatever. And then we just kind of devolved into making fun of, the LGBTQRS.
QIAPP2ABCDIDGAF.
Hold on, you need to know how we got there. First we were talking about Skyrim politics.
Yep.
And the Argonians. And then we were talking about the spirit, the two-spirit people.
They're from outer space or something. I don't know what they're on.
Which
I don't know when they get off.
Then you talked about berries and how you're not supposed to assume them.
You know, don't. I fucking started that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, don't you assume my berries.
All right, that's going to be our joke now, right? Don't assume my berries.
Cracker was a 400-pound Jewish slug woman for a while.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, was it funny?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was hilarious, man. It was great. And then, what else did he miss? That was most of it.
That was pretty much it. We talked about communism and stuff.
And also, really long acronyms. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
We already.
Really long acronyms.
And how they're not needed because those things don't really, exist. And if they do, they exist on such a small scale, it literally affects no one. In a policy kind of way. Okay, there's 200 people in the entire world, and 7 of them are in the United States. We don't need to make a law. People that think they're cats and stuff, they identify as an animal. Those kind of
Oh
people.
God, yeah.
Dude, hold on, let me look up that video 1 second.
Okay, in the meantime, I wanna pin you down on that's Eisen. I wanna pin you down on your association between. Is Prince trying to say something? Can anyone else not hear Prince? Because I can't.
Oh, he hasn't been talking. He said one word.
Yeah, I've only said a few
sorry.
words.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I just got home. I had to check my social media, but nothing important. So yeah.
All right, guys, look at my screen. This is the video.
Okay, wait. Hold on a second. So, coming from someone who used to be a part of the other Canadian community, it's actually not as bad as you would think it is. And I'm not saying it's good, because especially the people who try to implement it into laws and shit, but it's actually not as bad as you may think it is.
Oh, I heard.
Okay, I feel like we've hit a gold, man.
Do you know the channel The Liberal Teen?
Nah.
Okay, well, she's a channel. She's pretty small. I think she probably has 150 subscribers, but she used to be in Otherkin, and then she stopped. And she was telling me about it, and she thinks it's really, really fucking crazy and destructive herself. So.
Yeah, I think it is crazy and destructive, but I mean, I don't know. It's maybe just because I met some really nice people on there. It's just they were a bunch of nice people who believe something fucking crazy.
What you mean is that I guess that they're not as toxic as the trenders?
I'd say, yeah.
Huh.
But
her problem with it was that she felt that it was encouraging mental illness because it was encouraging people to to try to imagine themselves having multiple because it wasn't other
Yeah.
kin, but it's like they have different animals that they are. Like she was personally like something like 4 different wolves. I think she has something like 22 different total animals that she thought she was, and then she was encouraged by her community to try to like actualize the mentality and like truly believe that she was these animals. And there's like live footage of other kins like eating dead deer carcasses that are like raw.
Okay. I take it back. Yes, there are a problem. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I guess people want to be so quick to judge like anyone who is ever other kin at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, and like it's the same with the furries. You know, like there's furries are like there's some furries that are like really, really, really cool and like not weird at all. And
So they just like the artwork and stuff. They're not into
yeah,
the
I'm
whole
kind of one of those.
Or
they'll
they'll put on like little fox ears and a fox tail, and that's their version of being a furry. And they
I do that.
Yeah, their little boyfriend or girlfriend does the same thing, and they like go around raves like that, and you can like meet them at a rave, and it's like, oh, you're like a weird little furry couple. That's cool. Can I pet your head? You know, like whatever. But
not all of them are walking around shitting in diapers in the street. Some of them are just having fun.
Yeah.
I've never really seen the weird fairies. What are the weird fairies? I mean, furries.
Apparently they are so freaking rare. Like, there's conventions, and like 10 to 15 people go to them, and it's like the same 8 core group of people with like a couple locals.
Oh
like,
no!
I've actually been to
There's no. That's not. Sorry, I used to live in San Francisco. I lived in San Francisco for 7 years, and there's a monthly party called Frolic, and at Frolic, there's a good 200 people show up just there, and that happens every month. And they're wearing head to toe like plush fitted suits that like fit their body perfectly, and then these big giant heads. And I actually had to ask a friend why their heads are so big, and there's a reason for it. It's so that the air circulates well because they put fans inside them. So that enough room for the fan.
Fursuits are awesome though. I mean, I have a friend who is a suitor and everything.
To be fair, though, that was in San Francisco, which probably is in the top 3 places for that to exist.
Oh, absolutely.
Generously.
And the fact that
I'm just saying, like when if you say that there's a convention and there's 15 people, well, that would be a shitty convention because I'm sure there's conventions where there's thousands of them.
Yes, it's actually Anthrocon that's here in Pittsburgh. It's actually the world's largest furry convention. It's fucking fun, dude. Like,
I'm a freedom guy. I say, as long as you're not hurting anyone, do your weird
people
shit.
have this weird misconception about furries, like they go to conventions and like fuck in public or something. I'm like, no. Pretty much they just go to conventions to like take pictures of each other and check out artwork and shit.
It's like Animazement or Comic-Con or whatever. But
yeah,
it's like a law.
So you were about to say something or link something to me or something.
No, I was about to talk about. We kind of moved on, but I was going to talk to you about your association you made between Antifa and stuff like queer kids stuff. I don't know how those are connected in your mind. I wanted to query you on that.
Oh, okay. Well, put very simply, they are both like queer kid stuff. I just use them as an example of just like a figurehead. It's not that channel specifically. It's just that that channel and like Riley Dennis and Milo Stewart and just like that whole
Pop and Ollie.
Yeah, that whole giant YouTube community.
I don't know if the kind of people who are in Antifa riots are the people watching Riley Dennis. I somehow think that that's a different audience.
Well, I mean, they got 2 audiences, just like the people that watch Ben Shapiro are 2 different kinds of like people. There's like the moderate liberals that are just like, yes, I want everything to go back to how it was. Like, I just want freedom of speech is obvious. It's a given. And then you have like the real hardcore conservatives that watch Ben Shapiro. They're like, yeah, build the wall, do all the like ridiculous whatever. Like, there's 2 groups, and I feel like it's kind of similar with that YouTube group. There's just the people that just love the whole LGBTQ whatever crap, and then there's the Antifa members that are just violent about it. Because when you look at the Antifa things, they are just half of their message is communism, and the other half is LGBTQ pride. That's literally 100% of it.
But people like
99%.
I would not say that half of no. That is not no. I'm sorry. No, what it is, I no, it's communism and it's anti-racism, and but it's gotten to the point where they are fucking Antifa motherfuckers will be homophobic, and they do it all the time.
Of course they are.
Like if you're a gay guy who is not Antifa, they will fuck with you so hard because they think that you're an easy target, and they really, really hate Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh, I know. They hate gay people that don't agree with them. They hate black people that don't agree with them. They hate women that don't agree with them. But that doesn't mean that they don't pretend that they're a champion and like just parade around like these groups of LGBTQs and these super feminists. They parade them around, and like that makes it feel like it's a huge portion of them. And like these protests, like all the media focuses on all the like stop being homophobic signs that they keep holding up, and like it's just, and quit being transphobic. And you know, you go to any rally and like you watch these videos and it's like one guy goes to punch a guy and he's like, what, you're gonna hit a woman? Like that's one video.
Oh yeah, that one was so funny.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm a woman now, you can't hit me, you're gonna hit a woman. And it's like
after he fucking spits on him, and then the girl goes up and she's like, did you just misgender her?
Yeah. And it's like, that's Antifa.
Those people
Send
make
me
me
that link.
ashamed
I haven't
to
seen
be
that yet.
trans.
And I
That
don't
was, like,
think that's
before
isolated.
the election, like a long time before I think that was during the primaries. That was there was a crazy.
And there's other ones, like there is that one where the giant blonde woman like
I'll find it.
tries to punch a guy. They're very violent and they use any excuse they can, and a lot of the transgender people are in it. And they love videos like Queer Kid Stuff because that's the weird side of the LGBT community.
It's the side
It
that
just seems
embraces
so-
absolutely everything.
Actually, you know what?
It just seems so sugar coated, all that stuff. I don't know how. Maybe it seems weird to me that these kind of violent people would be into something that's so soft and weak.
Because it targets children, and that is so evil, it's not sugar-coated. To target children for a sexual preference in any way is evil, and I disagree with it wholeheartedly. If you call yourself minor attracted instead of a pedophile, I might hit you. That kind of person is just wrong, and that's why it's the same group of idiots that just want to go out and like hit everyone in sight that disagrees with them mildly would watch those kinds of videos where it fuels them.
I don't think that they watch it, and the reason why I think that is because I've known a lot of these like anarchist, transgender type people, and, and they pretty much don't go on the internet unless to go on Facebook, because that's the only thing that they really go on. They probably don't even really use Twitter. And other than that, they hang out with people in person, and Facebook is just an extension. Facebook is basically their Rolodex, and they don't trust mainstream media, and I don't think that they really spend any time on YouTube. I think that what happened is that the philosophies of like hating the white male patriarchy and the American government is a white supremacist patriarchy, blah blah blah. All of those philosophies have been taken, and they figured, hey, they work on college age, even people up through their 30s. It works on them. We can start brainwashing the kids with it, and that's where the channels come from. I can screen share the footage though, because it is worth seeing. If you guys want to see it.
All right, and like I might be wrong. That's just what I think, and obviously, just having a hunch about a group of people is no means to like have a standard like, oh, this is truth. Like obviously that's just I feel like these two things kind of sprouted around the same time, and they're fighting for the same general goal. Like I guarantee if the Queer Kid Stuff person was like had an interview about non-gender related things, they would be like, oh yeah, communism's definitely the least hateful route. And so it would be like, oh, okay, so your views align almost exactly with Antifa. You're just not.
Agreed.
Yeah. And so that was my point. But I got
you got
yeah, I agree with that. And I have
No, yeah.
somebody that I know who is who hangs out in the kind of anarchist scene, who is a transgender now, did one time post a Riley Dennis video about, I think it was actually the one that everybody hated so much, the genital preference one.
Oh, that's a gold mine, that video.
I'm actually working on the video, the Riley Dennis of the bisexual thing. How she said, how he said, like, you're biphobia if you don't date bi people. I'm like, no, it's a personal preference.
Yeah, I heard Some Dumb American and Miss Misa are going to be doing a collab on that video as well.
Yeah, I'm still working on the collab with Ice and Wolf. It's tearing me apart.
Is he bisexual as well?
No, he's not. He's not bisexual. No, he's not bisexual. As far as I know. As far as I know.
Do you guys want to see this trans? Well, this it's not even a transgender. This is just somebody who just is lying because he does not even pretend to like sort of be a transgender. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, let's do it. Do it.
Protesters here in Portland. I stood with them. It was the damn neo-Nazis that screwed up the protest. They went broke buildings. They went. This is the anti-war rally that we were talking about. All right. So we're obviously not. We're not them. We're not them. We're not them. Okay. We're not them.
That guy looks ridiculous. He's covering his face.
Is literally just the guy that stormfronted your
Why are they gonna wear masks though?
We just established middle ground. David Duke endorses all sorts of damn people. Yeah, he can endorse whoever he wants. He comes out every 4 years. He comes out every 4 years. Yeah, the most racist candidate. That doesn't mean
I bet one of the big reasons why they wear masks is because they just think it's cool what's going on.
Hey, what's racist about Hillary Clinton? Hey, how is he racist? You sound like an idiot. How is he racist? How is he racist? Yeah, how is he racist? One racist thing Jones ever said. As he said one racist thing. Yeah, seriously. One racist thing. Quote something racist. We want a statement that they okay, so obviously you haven't done your research and you're just going along with what everyone else is saying. So go do some research, come back with some quotes, okay? You don't know. Hey, this dude just spit on my face. I'm a tranny. Hey, this tranny just spit on my face. You just spit on my face.
That fucking cunt. This cunt right here she's the smuggly puff of this fucking. She's okay. After some motherfucker spits in the guy's face, then she's like, "Don't call it. This person goes by female pronouns." Like, yeah. Also spit in my face.
She's a cunt.
It's a bitch, okay? It's a bitch.
Cunt is worse sounding. In my opinion.
Bitch, she's a hoe.
Faux show.
You're gonna get me banned, baby. People are gonna think I'm racist up in here. Up too late.
Don't worry, Cracker. We already think you're racist.
I'm the critical racist. There we go. That's a new profile I can make. Have a avatar of a Pepe in a Nazi uniform with a top hat monocle.
I am sorry, but I'm going to take this lull to say that I am very tired and I need to sleep.
Go.
Really 1 in the morning.
Go to bed, man. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming on.
I love you all. Goodbye.
Bye.
Love you too.
What?
My British bro is gone.
That's cool.
Would you like some of my white privilege too while you're at it? Not now?
So what else are we going to talk about?
I don't know. Prince, you got anything? Save the stream, buddy.
Oh, let me think. What was I talking about? Oh, did anybody see the guy from Rick and Morty? His fucking his rant about 29% of the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw your video on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Why was the guy fucking screaming? Like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I guess that's your humor, like your weird drunken, but he was taking it a little bit too far. Somebody posted in my comments that he's been fired 4 different times for like getting like drunk rage at work or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, the guy, he seemed a bit off with just.
Yeah, people were trying to like, what's the word? Excuse it and say that I'm just not familiar with his comedy and that he does absurd like character changes and stuff, and that it's probably deliberate. But it's like, okay, well, it still wasn't funny. Like, if you were gonna do that, couldn't you take it a few steps? Like, if you're gonna do that kind of a character, you shouldn't be so accurate that it's just accurate, because it was completely believable. Like, you should take it a few steps too far so that we know that you're joking. But he didn't really do that.
Was he really joking, or could he have been actually serious? And
a number of people think that he's serious. A number of people who are fans said, "No, I'm a fan of his, and I think he's actually gone off the deep end this far. Like, they think he is serious." But I'm not sure, because I'm not, I've only seen 2 episodes of the show myself, so.
I still love Rick and Morty, even though sometimes some of these guys can still just come out as just stupid. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show. Agreed.
what do you think, Valentine?
I don't know, Rick.
What do you think, Valentine?
About what? What?
About what happened with him?
Oh, well, considering I don't really know jack shit about the show, I mean, just, I don't know. Hearing that guy was fucking annoying, I guess. I got nothing to say on it.
Yeah.
Now, it feels like we're just trying to fill in this void now.
Yeah, I think this stream is pretty much dead at this point.
I'll start making sex noises.
Okay. You start.
No.
Come on, leave us hanging. Like, hey.
That sounded like a fucking.
Oh my god! Okay, wait. Whoa! No, you guys, this is good. You guys are gonna want to read this comment. This is fucking funny. Okay, so under the video that we're just looking at, that we're just talking about, that's my response video. Are you presenting me to everyone?
Yeah. Go. Is it in the chat? Where is it? There it is. I got you.
Okay, cool.
You got a Mac.
Yeah. So it says, underneath my video, this guy says, "I don't disagree with anything Dan Harmon was trying to say in this video. I think a lot of people just don't want to open their eyes. I agree he was wasted, though. Truthfully, this video comes off petty and kinda Nazi-ish." And then somebody sort of defends me or something. Somebody says, "So you want to murder 29% of 3 million people, 300 million people." And my response is simply, "Good one, you pwned me." Because what do I even say to that? That's just idiotic. And so then this other guy, like argues with him back and forth, like for a bit, and then the other guy accuses the this same name profile accuses him of being my sock puppet account, like me personally. So I'm like, yeah, Ivan, guys with over 10K subs sit around creating sock puppet accounts to argue in our own comments. We clearly don't have anybody else eager to engage. And so then he says, I was just going to leave it at some names last comment since it shows better than I can how illogical this all is and childish. But you responding now just makes me think, yeah, you definitely created that account and you want the last word in the conversation. Starting to think your 10K is made up of 70% bots. LOL, all you had to do was ignore me or call me a troll. Same name. Oh, he's talking to the other guy. Not condemning things. Isn't that funny though? It's like, like he's, I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to call him a troll at this point, but I'm gonna opt for the ignoring one. The end.
That's just retarded. But I would like 10,000 subscribers. Come on, hit me up, Prince.
That was such a random input.
Same
I
here.
know, it's like, does anybody have a really good bot program where you can get yourself 7,000 subs with bots? Because I'd probably still use that too.
You know, it is what it is. And people are just going to be stupid for the sake of being stupid.
Yeah.
Prince of Queeks, though, that's a good
I was just thinking.
that's a good username.
What is?
Prince of Queefs.
That's what he called.
Yeah. Yeah, if that ever sprouts up, it's probably going to be Magdalene Burns trolling.
You could use that as your what was it? Your Twitter user.
That fucking cunt, like lesbian nemesis of mine that I fucking wrecked with brain cancer, fucking demented in the head, turf motherfucker.
Dead silence again.
Yeah, it's like once you make this title of the stream so specific, you can't really like do anything
Yeah,
with
that's
it
my fault.
unless you change the title.
No, I didn't. I'm going to change it
Well,
once
you
we're done.
should.
Be like, is terrorist is in that Antifa a terrorist organization? And then further on,
Plus
and other
bullshit.
shit. But yeah, I'm sorry. Usually these streams don't last that long. We've been going at it for almost 2 hours.
It's been good.
Yeah, I've been having fun. So, yep. So, Queen, Prince, do you have anything else? Do you want to talk about, or should we just end the stream?
Nothing major. No.
No.
All right. Here's a question.
Okay.
That is important to our age. Are traps gay?
This joke is not even fucking funny to me anymore. Like, it's just so fucking stupid and overused, and I have no respect for it. No
I've
offense.
never understood it. I agree with you, Hayden.
Like, it's just, I hear it so many times, it's like, shut the fuck up. No one fucking cares.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I feel like maybe straight guys do. And what they, like,
Exactly.
straight cisgender men maybe do. And what they mean by it is not, are the traps themselves gay? But what they're wondering is if they're gay if they fuck a trap.
Yes.
You know what, the last thing that I'm ever going to say on this, Stop fucking worrying about it. There. That's
Well,
it.
I heard of I can try to find the article because I don't remember who published it. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was probably Age of Shitlords or something, but I think there's an article called like feminists have turned an entire generation into tranny chasers or something, which I thought was funny.
I think that's it for the stream. We pretty much ran out of ideas.
Rip.
Oh, it's Return of Kings who published it. Here, I'll show you it. And then that'll be a good ending point because we're sharing a Return of Kings article. That's embarrassing. It's just a funny headline though. So it's how toxic femininity turn men into tranny chasers by Jimbo Jones. Oh my god.
Oh, that's a dude.
What the fuck?
That's not even a passable trap.
Not even trying. Wow.
That is a man.
He's a manly man.
Perhaps the greatest lie of the 21st century is that men need women more than women need men. We've all heard the tired and trite musings a million times by now. Women wouldn't start wars, men can't create life, so all they know how to do is destroy. The world we be a much better place if women ruled everything. God, okay, obviously they don't have an editor. Of course, this overlooks all of the historical atrocities committed under matriarchal governments. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, boring, boring, boring. But the reasons that's probably the most commonly cited is that women, hypothetically, are more important to men than vice versa, involves procreation. Women, blah, blah, blah. Where's the traps? But where things get really screwy is in the long-held and long-propagated thesis that men can be controlled by women simply by denying them sex. Here's where the traps come in. The idea that men are so beholden to the vagina that their every action can be manipulated through their heterosexual desires isn't a newfound post-hippie trope. It goes as far back as 400 BC Greece, as evident by the Aristophanes play Lysistrata, which, for those of you who aren't too keen on the antiques, is a bunch of women stopping a war by refusing to go to bed with their husbands until they stop fighting. And yeah, it's stupid. We had to read that in high school. The particular crass and crude rapper Brooke Candy reiterated the age-old assumption in the quite blasphemous music video for her 2013 song Pussy Makes the Rules, which includes the rather telling refrain, "Bitches know we got the power in the pussy cause you made your pain and turn your brain into a slushy. Oh, cause you..."
That doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah. I think I can make it rhyme. Hold on. If I bitches know we got the power in the pussy, cause you major pain, and turn your brain into slushy. Okay, it doesn't rhyme. It just doesn't rhyme. It's hard to not see a dark streak of toxic femininity in such lyrics. There's nothing innocuous about extolling the virtues of an ideologically weaponized vagina, nor is there anything innocent about encouraging listeners to turn their sex organs into methods of controlling, manipulating, and dominating over other people. In tandem with the ghastly social influence of third-wave feminism, a philosophy that more or less posits men as inferior with the goal of legally and culturally denigrating those with gonads to second-class citizens, perhaps it should be surprising that a large number of technically heterosexual males would eventually abandon pursuing women altogether and instead pursue the embrace of males pretending to be female. The chicks with dicks complex. It doesn't take much Googling to find online community after online community of straight men who have come to fetishize drag queens, cross-dressers, femboys, male-to-female transsexuals, T-girls, she-males, and perhaps most notably, traps. That being men who dress as women, who don't tell their partners their real gender, oftentimes with the hopes of converting their boyfriends into full-time homosexuality as alternatives to the traditional female sexual worship object. The en vogue term for femiphilic polysexuality, which basically means sexual attraction to anybody with traditionally female characteristics, regardless if they have a vagina. This part, I believe, actually makes a tremendous amount of sense. There's no way around it. Women today are nowhere near as attractive as they were 20 years ago. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to make that statement. I've seen some women, like, there'll be like random footage of a hot girl in a bikini posing on Facebook, and it's like she's a cyborg. She's so perfect looking. So I don't know. I think they're looking at the wrong women. There's no way around it. Women today are nowhere near as attractive as they were 20 years ago. The great big lie of third wave feminism, complete with all of its body positivity mumbo jumbo, has convinced women that it's okay to be morbidly obese, dykish, adverse to even basic forms of hygiene, and walk around with full-blown mustaches, and that men will just have to change their own preconceived notions of beauty and roll with it. After all, women do have vaginas, don't they? And men will do anything to spill their precious seed inside them, even if it means bumping uglies with a 400-pound, smelly, tatted up Skankosaurus, right? If anything, the rise of the fembot trap subculture is direct reactionary statement to the defeminization of the American women. There's no denying it. A transsexual porn star like Serena Valentino. Oh, do you guys want to look at her?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Damn! That's a dude?
I don't see it.
I can see it in the face and the cheekbones.
No, I'm saying I don't see it. Like, that's not attractive to me. But okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Fuck, that's a dude?
Well, technically. It depends on how you look at it. Like, if you're like me and you still see trans women as women, just not biologically, I don't know. It is tricky.
It's a trans woman. That's
how it should be. Like, just that's a trans woman. Like,
yeah, it's like you don't have to say, is it a man or is it a woman? It's a trans woman. Problem solved.
people do that shit to me all the time. So annoying.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's so annoying. It's like when they, like
I've had people ask me, it's like, wait, you're a girl? It's like, not really, but yeah.
Like, biologically, I was born a girl, but I am transitioning to be, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Like, I'd prefer if you called me a male, so please, let's just not talk about this.
But then when I end up explaining it, I get accused of being a special snowflake, so.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Okay, so... Oh, by the way, I'll tell you, just so you know, I am going to start transitioning into being more of a male because I have a low testosterone and I have to take more testosterone. So I'm going to be doing that, but don't spread it around. It's not something that I'm super proud of because it's kind of embarrassing, but it probably explains my voice, right? Okay. So, if anything, the rise of the femboy trap subculture is a direct reactionary statement to the defeminization of the American. Selena, okay, so we looked at this. Selena is unquestionably more attractive than a real feminist like Andrea Dworkin. Well, yeah, we don't need to look at her. She's gross. Unless you guys want to, because I want to see what picture they're going to show.
I'm curious.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, but she's like also older, but she was not attractive when she was younger. Surprise, surprise. So
Well, cam tranny jerk-off queen Paige James is inarguably prettier than such loud and proud biological celebrity females as Lena Dunham and Leslie Jones. Let's look at Paige James. Oh, she's cute.
The nose. The nose is a male nose.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's trying way too hard with the makeup to make it look like it's not.
Well,
But-
thank God she doesn't have a huge ass Adam's apple like Wiley does.
Well, she might.
Yeah,
We can't see it. So, they all have traditional hallmarks of feminine beauty, including the breasts, however artificial they may be. They're almost always thinner and cleaner than the aggregate feminist, and they generally don't engage in heavy-handed, virtually misandrous identity politics of real women. In fact, the only major difference is, well, they've got 2 sets of balls and a cock to go with them, and there's a pretty strong chance it's longer than yours too. That's a weird thing to put in there.
That's a low blow.
How female liberation created shemale fetishization. How long is this? Okay, it's not that long. We can get through it. I don't know the technicalities here, and I'm not gonna pretend that I do either. I guess any sort of the fuck is this? I guess any sort of voluntary penis-on-penis contact is inherently gay, and traps are gay, and no matter how many. Wait, maybe the reason this question became a meme is because of the vast amount of people who secretly toy around with this, thinking to themselves that they would prefer to fuck a Blair White than any of the women that they know. And so there's been a lot of private Google searches around this. Who knows? So I guess any sort of voluntary penis-on-penis contact is inherently gay, no matter how many hormones injections a shemale gets. They're always going to have a Y chromosome and enzymes inside them for producing sperm. There are entire forums out there dedicated to straight guys getting deflowered by traps, which would seem to suggest a pretty strong sense of pre-existing homosexual tendencies. But by that same token, it looks like there are a lot of dudes out there who, A, don't find real men attractive, and B, would never engage in gay activities with another dude who do want to get it on with trannies. So maybe calling it strictly gay isn't quite the right label. Regardless, this concrete fact remains. A ton of dudes out there don't want to have sex with women, but they do want to have sex with men dressed up like women. This is an amazing social phenomenon that I suppose can't be explained except in terms of toxic femininity. What else would drive a man who is sexually attracted to the female form into the arms, crotch, and buttocks of another man with synthetic tits, a wig, and $200 worth of makeup on his face? What other explanation would suffice for why men would demand their lovers have all the classical characteristics of a woman except their baby making, and if cultural high priestesses like Brooke Candy are to be believed, male entrapping genitalia? Just how hideous do women have to get physically and behaviorally for men to say no thanks to pussy in favor of good old-fashioned rectal hammering? How can you even begin to comprehend how such fringe fetishist subcultures even came to exist without first acknowledging that women did something very, very wrong in the first place? Pussy ain't what it used to be. Think for a minute just how noxious your behavior has to be for men, en masse, to reject the most innate of human drives, the desire to procreate. Alas, taking a glance at the 400-pound man-hating tumblerinas and armada of liberal arts majors dressing up like vaginas to protest the alleged patriarchy out there, perhaps this startling counter-evolutionary behavior makes at least some sense. If hardline feminists really do seek to transform their vaginas into weapons of ideological warfare, perhaps this heterosexual tranny-chasing phenomenon is a wholly predictable response, men opting for the lesser of two degeneracies, if you will. Alas, as perverse as this tranny fetishization may be, it's nonetheless a stern reminder that even when it comes to matters of genital pleasure, women don't dominate the marketplace as much as they think they do. When it comes to sexual pleasure, men can do with the occasional escort service and the inevitable wave of hyper-realistic sex bots. And where reproduction is concerned, high-tech petri dishes are likely a few decades away from making women totally unnecessary. Women, conversely, will never be able to live without men's incalculable contributions to society. The cars engineered by men, the highways built by men, the power plants overseen by men, the technology infrastructure created by men, etc. And as deplorable and decadent as it may be, the she-male question proves that pussy is no longer the great cultural trump card women have over the male species. Then again, feminists only have themselves to blame for their own obsolescence. If sex is literally all you have to offer, wasn't it just a matter of time until men found a way to get it cheaper, easier, and without all of the tribal politics nonsense? Well, that's the first time I've ever actually read a whole Return of Kings article.
That's kind of weird.
I don't think it's so much that they're... I think those men are probably more likely bisexual, I think. Perhaps they like the more feminine features tend to, but they don't dislike someone having basically a penis.
Yeah, I have no insight into that. I only like guys.
If you have a dick in your mouth, you're either bisexual or gay. You can't be like, oh, I just wanted to taste it to see how it was. I'm like, no, dude, this doesn't work like that.
I kind of disagree, though.
I wouldn't exclude... I know that I could have sex with a trans guy if he was hot enough, but it probably wouldn't be a repeated thing because I am turned off by vaginas. So, like...
I'm not. I love vagina.
Yeah,
Yes,
I love dick.
you're bisexual.
I can't help it. It's just like...
But I don't know about me, though. It's like, I haven't been attracted to a trans man so far, but I mean...
Yeah. No, I mean, there's trans guys that I think are objectively cute. I just,
The whole genitalia thing.
Yeah, the genitalia thing. So, like, maybe if I was drunk and horny and he started grinding his butt into me and I was like, oh, this is hot, and then we just dropped trow and I fucked him, like, I could think about not the fact that he has a vagina, you know? And I imagine that that's sort of what the trap phenomenon is. Like, you know, if the trap thing is that women try to have sex with guys and get him to fuck her in the butt without him realizing that she has a dick, she's probably skilled in the art of doing that. And I bet
I was about to say, like, how do you not know there's a dick there? Like,
well, you don't necessarily reach around.
But that'd be the polite thing to do,
right?
Probably would have to be.
I'm
pretty
sorry,
strong.
friends. That was a terrible joke. Continue.
I don't understand what you mean.
Like a reach around if you're fucking someone up the ass, a reach around.
Oh, well, you mostly don't do that. That's actually pretty rare.
Well,
Usually you let them do it for themselves. Because you concentrate on the fucking.
I mean, if I was single and I went to a party and I was with a female to man or a male to female, I'll be like, score.
I think the thing that people mostly don't know about gay men and gay male sex, people just assume it's not this way, but the majority of gay men are more enthusiastic about getting fucked than they are about fucking other men. And
yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah. And oh yeah, you're bi. I just remembered. Sorry. Yeah. Most guys are bottoms, and especially as they get older is another thing. It's like guys start out and they have a bunch of top energy, and then they get fucked really well one time, and then they just want to get fucked from then on.
What I agree about this article is, though, is I do find more feminine traits more attractive. I don't like hairy men, period. I don't. It's just like fucking your dad. It's like, oh, God.
Aw.
But I'm a man. Wait, that isn't making sense.
I personally like a little bit of hair.
Oh.
If I'm fucking Chewbacca, there's a problem.
Yeah, I would agree there.
No, for me, it's the hairier the better. So.
Yeah, I like hair.
Be like, wrong hole.
But I mean, there's some guys. Man, I was at the park. This is a funny story. So I went not yesterday, but the day before, to go on a walk. I wanted to go get some kombucha, and then I decided to walk all the way to the park. That's a lake that's pretty close to my house. It's like a 45-minute walk, not very far, and just go hang out for a second. And I'm walking, and this woman tries to ask me where the northbound freeway is, and I'm like, Are you like looking for your car because you have flip-flops on? I'm not really sure. And she's like, no, I'm just trying to find the freeway northbound. And I'm like, I was confused. And I'm like, well, I'm walking down that way. I don't remember the exact streets, but you can walk with me. Where are you going? Where are you coming from? And she was like, I remember she mumbles a few times and I can't hear what she says. And then it turned out that she had just gotten out of prison. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, I don't care. I'm like, I told her, I was like, I used to do, I've never been in trouble, but I used to do stuff that I might have gotten in trouble for when I was in my 20s. And so I walked with her and it was kind of funny. And I gave her a cigarette. I took her to an on-ramp that has a stop sign right before it. So I was like, yeah, that's going to be, she wanted to hitchhike. That was her thing. Cause she was trying to get home cause she just got out of prison. And then, I was like, so that put me in a little bit of a weird mood. And I walked down to the lake and I get there and I'm like, not really sure where I'm going to go and hang out. And so I go and I walk towards the beach and then there's a bench. And then I sit on the bench just because I felt like sitting down because I had walked for, like over 45 minutes. And I'm sitting there and I look at the guy next to me and he's like a big, relatively unattractive middle-aged man. And he was all sweaty and he looked nervous. And especially every time I looked at him, like he could see me looking at him, and it made like I like to think I have pretty good vibes. Like I can sense,
The gaydar?
Well, no, it wasn't gaydar. It was nervousness. And then I realized that where we were was right by the beach part where all the little kids swim, and that there was all sorts of little kids in bathing suits that you could.
Oh, dude! Don't tell me he was a pedo.
Well, I don't fucking know. But I did not feel comfortable sitting by him, and I had to get up and leave. I was like, "Oh, wait, this is no." And because I was like, "Wait," because I'm like a big I'm like I do not want to be on the pedo bench. You know what I mean? Like I'm like it just occurred to me like this is where you would sit if you were like logging up your spank bank with a bunch of like little kid images.
God.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird because and I feel like he was. It seemed like it. Like it just like it was like he was like it was. It's almost like he because I'm a guy in my I'm 35 and I'm kind of big and I have a beard. If there's two guys that look like that who are sitting right by each other, it's like the other one maybe would look more guilty. You know what I mean? But of course it didn't occur to me because I'm not a pedo at all. But I think to him, like he was like, oh shit, we're gonna be more obvious, dude. You got to get somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like I think that was the look he kind of gave me. Was something like that. Yeah, it was weird.
That is fucked up.
Yeah,
That's really fucked up.
Yeah, and so then I walked somewhere else, and I walked by because I looked over and I saw a bunch of like kids in their bathing suits, and I was like, okay, well, I suppose I can go find something for me to look at. So then I walked to the field, and there was some college-age guys playing frisbee, and oh my god, this one was like a little fucking sun god, and he was like he was like close to his body was like not in the same league as. Do you guys watch True Blood?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Sookie's brother Jason. He was kind of like that in the same like smoothness, but not quite as ripped. But he was like playing frisbee with some friends. And they were all none of them were particularly bad, but they all had shorts and their shorts off. And I've mostly been into older guys and guys that are hairy, but like, man, I would have fucking rubbed lotion on every single one of those little hairless bodies. Jesus. The end.
I just like somehow relate to that so much. Oh.
Did you hear about the gang rape of a woman on a public bus in Monaco, Spain?
No.
Yeah. Apparently, according to the article, it was, let's see. It didn't say if they were citizens or foreigners or whatever. But yeah, they just stripped this poor girl and started a rape her. It was like 3 other dudes on the bus, and no one stopped it. They were cheering them on.
Where's Monaco anyway?
It's Spain. I think it's southern tip a little bit. Not sure. I'm American. I don't know our geography.
And I assume we absolutely have no idea what the religion of these.
We don't know if they're Spanish. We don't know if they're foreigners. We don't know if they're from the migrant crisis. We don't know. I think the most fucked up thing, though, is no one stopped it.
Yeah, that's like I can't imagine. Well, okay, there is a thing that I read about called bystander syndrome, and it happens. It's like a weird group psychological dynamic that happens when there's crimes. You know, things that are public that traumatize the whole everybody watching. So any sort of rape or violence, domestic violence, like if you're at, I remember one time I was at a family fun center, and some dad like flipped the fuck out and was like gonna beat the crap out of his kid, and like. You could see that it was like a pattern because like the kid knew, and the kid had this like look of fear in his eyes, and like was like trying to like run backwards from his dad, and like fell and then the dad like grabbed him by the hand and pulled him out the door, and everybody was like looking, but everybody kind of like froze, you know,
sort of like shock, I guess.
Yeah, because everybody's like scared, but of course the people who worked there went out. A few of the young women who worked there, they ran outside and tried to get the license plate number Probably because it doesn't. It's probably because it happens somewhat regularly. I imagine if you work at a family fun center, it's not completely uncommon that there's child abuse. You know. So yeah, but I remember the feeling of like we didn't know what to do. Like my family, you know, and like we never really talked about it either. Like we kind of just pretended it didn't happen. And it's an actual psychological thing called bystander syndrome, and if it's really bad, it can lead to all sorts of issues. There was a story published about. Do you guys know the band The Runaways?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Joan Jett and the lead of Ford's band from the late 70s, and the guy who was their producer and their manager was this like rock and roll legend. He mostly produced bands, and he was like very theatrical, and he was the guy behind Kiss, and he was their producer also. And so he was this like bigwig, like, you know, he was probably super rich and like power hungry. And the Runaways were only like 15 years old when they were the band. They were really young. And one of them, the one who was particularly smart, and she was like a straight A student and very like empowered, he had this weird like dominance fetish over her or something. I read a really long interview with the young woman right after he died, because she felt afraid to talk about it for the rest of the time that he was alive. But then he died, so she finally came forward about what happened. And it was always like he was trying to control her a little bit more than she was willing to let him. And then he eventually, one night there was like a party, like maybe it was for an album release or something, I don't know. He drugged her. He somehow got her to like he pressured her into taking a bunch of Quaaludes. And so she took like a bunch of Quaaludes, like, you know, borderline overdose level, and he raped her in front of like a massive amount of people at some like hotel party. And there were a few people who like cheered it on and were like loud about it. Like people yelled like, "Oh, hey, he's fucking some chick. Everybody has to come see." And she was conscious enough that she remembered it, but she couldn't move. And the other girls from the band were there and saw it, but they didn't do anything because there was like 20 people watching. So they were like, they didn't know what to do, and they were kind of like, and they were young girls. They were only like 15 anyway. And this was like their manager and their producer, you know? So of course, eventually the band broke up for obvious reasons. And the girls stopped talking to each other. And the girl who got raped, obviously this like very much traumatized her for the rest of her life. And one of the things that she kept, it was far beyond that she was raped, but it was also like, why didn't my friends do anything? Like, why didn't my bandmates do anything? And we never talked about it. And finally, decades later, like I think like actually like maybe like 25 or 30 years later, she finally talked to one of the other girls, and the other girl had bystander syndrome, this syndrome, so that was so bad that she ended up having her own major psychological issues based around just being a witness and not having done anything herself. And she had many, many years of therapy too. And they were able to bond over that and like, for not exactly forgive each other, but like, come renew their friendship and kind of like apologize to each other for not being aware that, this was something that was traumatizing for both of them. It's not like it was just, she was there and she didn't do anything. It was, she was there, she was traumatized by it too,
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah. If you read stories about that guy, his name was like Kim Foley or something. He was really fucked up sounding guy, like one of these weird, like pathological Hollywood like fucking sadist sociopaths or something, you know?
That's kind of dark. Maybe we should go into a less depressed.
Yeah, I hate to be the one who's like, oh, I'm triggered, but like I kind of was legitimately PTSD kind of triggered by that.
Oh, sorry if my story was the way I told it was too vivid. Like that's
the thing is, it's like with PTSD triggers, I have to like I'm teaching myself to confront them. It's one of me, but that kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
On a non-more, fucked up note, there's a dog fetish BDSM thing. Did you know that?
Huh.
Yeah, there's a dog fetish BDSM scene. They dress up as dogs in leather suits.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Oh my god.
That's stupid.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've talked about that so many times on stream. I mean, it's fucking weird though.
Whatever. You fucking little bitches.
Oh yeah, you're an otherkin. I forgot.
No. It's not like that. I'm not that. No. It's like everyone like calls everything related to that kind of stuff like weird. It's like, no, you're just all fucking normal.
I don't get some of these fetishes. I really don't.
Well, why don't we end on, I guess, an interesting note. I have an article here that about Donald Trump's face on some ecstasy drugs in Germany, which is interesting.
He's on ecstasy drugs.
No. I know what he's talking about. These fucking ecstasy pills that are like the shape of like Trump's head and shit.
Weird.
Like with his face on it.
I wonder if they're really like some other drug. Like it would actually be like something that'll make you pass out.
Yeah, it was like his face on the drugs, which is an
My
interesting
mom would
choice.
take something like that.
But I suppose that would be quite recognizable.
Yeah. I think that's it for the... Wait, what is it? TMZ.
Huh?
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
They almost look like little like vitamins or something.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Let's see. Here, I'll screen share it. No one's screen sharing it.
I don't know how to screen share, so I haven't figured that out.
I'll do it.
I got it. Just present me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you high. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, he's sort of like doing the pucker thing.
We're gonna build a wall, and then we're gonna go on the fairyland and chase the fairies of Nocturna.
What the fuck?
It's gonna be huge.
I wonder how powerful that shit is though. Like
Yeah,
I kind of want to take it.
those press tabs tend to be pretty powerful in general.
But I think that's what I'm gonna end the stream now, guys.
All right.
Okay, it's been
Thanks
nice
for coming
talking.
on. Go ahead and do your shameless self plugins, please.
All right, I'll start. I'm Rational Outlaw, and you can follow me on Twitter at Rational Outlaw, and I also have my own YouTube channel and VidMe and all that stuff.
I'm Prince of Queens. I normally don't tell graphic rape stories.
Yeah. What a way to fucking introduce yourself to this.
That's Mr. Valentine. Subscribe to his Twitter and his YouTube.
Yeah, you should come
yeah,
on.
I'm Mr. Valentine. You can follow me on Twitter at HeyJValentine. That's HAY, the letter J, and Valentine. So, yeah.
And I'm your host and your salty ass cracker god, the Critical Cracker. Thanks for joining our podcast. And stop by next Tuesday where we'll have everybody back on and hopefully on topic. But you'll never know. Thank you guys again for coming on the show, and y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Bye.